when it gets to the point where it's no longer ever nurturing you, it's never pouring into you, it's never making you a better person, it's never making you feel like a happy person, it's never helping you achieve your dreams and your goals, like ever. Like, understand that the relationship won't do that every day. Like, I know people say that cute shit that it's going to nurture you and it's supposed to grow you, it's supposed to help you be a better person. Now, it's not going to do that every day because sometimes that person is struggling with shit too. But if it's never doing that for you, and it's time to go.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Quite literally. Will Tidwell, a younger gentleman.
I wish I didn't have this big heart. People just do nothing but hurt me. Anybody can dream the dream. Anybody can have a goal, but see,
you're gonna be a neighborhood hero. You just keep shining, young king.
Hey, what's going on, man? This is Will Z Tidwell with SpeakUPZee, and you are now tuned into another episode of SpeakUPZee, the podcast. Man, the podcast where I talk about real things with real people. Man, everything from life to business to mental health and everything else in between. And this is gonna be a really cool episode because it's not so much me sharing my writings, it's not so much me coming in here with an agenda, but it's actually me answering some questions from you guys, and taking those questions and expounding on them even more and being able to just answer them straight up. But also I added a little twist to it and even ask some questions that I feel like the person wanted to ask, or that would even make the question more complete, if that makes sense, right? And so I just want to tap into those questions and talk about those things with y'all, and we're going to get right into it, man, because life has been heavy lately. I've just been trying to find that new balance, kind of like we talked about the last episode of just figuring out my life, figuring out what makes sense to me. And the thing I'm learning about balance is that balance may look different in every season of your life. Like what looked balanced and what felt balanced over here at this point in your life may look completely different when you get to this portion of your life. And the biggest thing about life is, are you able to adjust and are you able to make the necessary changes in order to keep flowing? Even if you get off your pivot, even if stuff stop making sense, even if you get a little frustrated with the way things are going in your life, can you get back on your pivot? Can you figure out a new normal? Can you figure out a way to just make your life make sense again when things kind of come into your life and shake things up, whether it's good or bad? And so I think that's been the biggest thing I've been learning lately. And so, man, let's get right into the episode. Let's open up with a quick prayer, man. We'll get right into it, all right? So, God, man, we just come to you just thanking you for another day of life. Man, God, I just thank you for everything that you do for us, man, day in and day out. God, I think this prayer is really to let you know that, man, that stuff doesn't go unnoticed. You know, sometimes, man, we so busy trying to survive. We so busy trying to figure it out. Man, we so busy just trying to make a way for ourselves and for our loved ones that sometimes we forget that you're making a way for us every single day. And sometimes we forget that if it wasn't for you, a lot of the things that have happened in our life wouldn't even be possible. And so, God, I think this prayer is literally just for that. It's just to let you know that it doesn't go unnoticed the way that you protect us. It doesn't go unnoticed the way that you love us. It doesn't go unnoticed the way that you keep us out of harm's way, no matter how hard we try sometimes to get in its way. God, this prayer is really to let you know that we understand that with you, we are so capable of so many different things in our life. But without you, it still may be possible, but it just becomes so much harder. And even when you attain a lot of those things, God, if we don't have you in our life, there's no peace there anyway. So, God, there's no place I'd rather be than right here with you. I love you and I appreciate you. I ask that you can just speak life into the people here tonight and use me as a vessel to be able to do so, God. Continue to elevate this platform, God, so we can reach more people and bring them closer to you. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. But yeah, man, this first question, and it's a question that kind of made me think about my own life. And I think a lot of people just feel like this in general. You know what I mean? And what he asked me, he said, Z, why is it so hard to get people to understand where I'm coming from? He said, like, no matter how hard I try, no matter how well I communicate, no matter how well I try to break down what it is I'm feeling, what it is that I'm going through, what it is that I'm needing, what it is that I'm lacking, it's like there's certain people in my life, the ones that I care about the most, the ones that I really love. It's like they never try to take the time to understand where I'm coming from. And so then the next time that they approach me and they want me to open up, or they want me to be vulnerable, or they want me to talk about my feelings, and then I rebuttal that, or I push them away, then they wonder why. Because the last time that I tried to do that with you, you shut me down. You made me feel like I was crazy. You had me questioning myself. So why would I trust you again with my feelings or my thoughts or my ideas or whatever the case may be, when the last time I tried to do that with you, you made me feel this big? So then one of the first things I told him when he asked me this great question is I said, man, no matter how hard you try, no matter how detailed you are, no matter how well you break down your feelings, no matter how well you communicate or that you think that you communicated, one of the hardest things in this life to get people to do is to step away from their own point of view long enough, to step out of their own feelings, to step out of their own emotions, to step out of their own way of thinking, their own pride, their own stubbornness, and be willing to step into your shoes and to feel your pain, or to feel your frustration, or to feel your passion, or to see, man, just where you coming from. And I said the sad reality is, bro, no matter how well you do communicate, no matter how well you try to explain certain things to certain people, no matter how detailed you are, I said there's going to just be certain things in this life that some people you try to help and try to explain things to. It's just certain things that they'll never understand until they're able to experience them for themselves. And the crazy part is that thing that you were trying to tell them all along, that thing that you were saying from day one, that thing that you was just trying to drill into their head, at some point in their life, they're going to come back to you and say, I understand now. I get where you were coming from. And the sad reality of it, the sad truth of it is that you got to be okay with some people never being able to understand where you're coming from. Some people never being able to relate to you. But I think one of the bravest things you can do in this life is that even when people don't understand you, even when people do question you, even when people don't take the time to try to understand your point of view, is that be willing to communicate the things that you feel, that you're going through, the things that you are dealing with, even if they don't get it. And so I know somebody else out there, man, is dealing with something very similar to that. You feel me? And I want you to be able to understand that, man, some people just won't get it until they live it. And if they never do live it, then maybe they just were never meant to understand you. Because I don't think we understand how we can literally drive ourselves insane trying to get people to see the picture when they just don't have the same vision as us. It'll drive you insane. And I guess I just don't want that to happen to you. And listen to this next question. It's going to be a very quick one, man, because, again, I just want to answer a few questions from you guys. This next one, it said, man, why is it so hard to leave the one you love? They said, Z, man, I've been loving this person for a very, very long time. I've been in love with this person for a very long time, man. We've been through everything together. The good, the bad, the tears, the memories, the trips, the pregnancy scares. Like, I done been through everything with this person. They said, but Z, why is it so hard to leave the one you love? Get ready to tap into the brilliance of Esquire Writing Media. Man, your ultimate friend when it comes to unleashing the creativity within you and elevating both your personal and your business brand. Everything from crafting compelling stories, content creation, or even venturing into this world of podcasting and speaking in such a dynamic way. Man, Esquire can take care of you. Whether you're a creative genius, building a brand, or just building your own platform, let Esquire Writing Media be the driving force that sets you apart. Man, be sure to follow us at SpeakUPZee.com/Esquire, or you can learn more and shoot us a text at 469-851-7235. We love y'all, man. Now back to the episode. Peace. And then they went on to say this. They said, why do so many people get stuck with this trap of love? Or at least what they think is love. You know, to be honest, man, when he asked me that, I had to sit there for a second because because it's just not that simple. And I said, one of the things that I hate the most is when people try to give people advice about love and just telling them they should just leave. That they should just go. And the reason I hate this so much, bro, is because it gives off this false narrative as if it's just that easy, as if it's just that simple. And it's not. Because because it can get to a point in that relationship, it can get a point, it don't have to just be intimate, like whatever, a friendship, a brotherhood, whatever, a work relationship sometimes too. But it can get to a point where you may be ready to leave. Man, you may have told yourself 1,000 times that I'm finna leave this place, I'm finna leave this person, or I'm finna be done with this. But it's like every time you're about to walk out that door, then you start thinking. And you start thinking about all the memories. You start thinking about all the times when everything was just all good. You start asking yourself, am I giving up too fast on this relationship? You start asking yourself, am I overreacting? And don't let the person that you love, that the one that you're trying to leave, don't let them start crying. Don't let them start showing emotion. Don't let them start begging you for you to stay. Then that opens up a whole nother door for you, because now it's like, even though I know I need to leave this place, I still got this love for you. I can't just let that go. So the fact that I care about you so deeply, and now I'm seeing you hurt. Now you almost feel like this obligation to stay. And see, this is the real part of why we don't leave that a lot of people don't want to talk about, because a lot of times what happens is we know that we're hurting that person by having to leave, but we're trying to do it for our own sanity, because even though we may hurt them to leave, we hurting ourselves more by staying. But because we see them hurting so much, what do? We embrace them, we hug them, we tell them it's going to be okay. We might start crying with them. Next thing you know, you're hugging them. Next thing you know, you kissing them. Next thing you know, you making up with this person. Now you done have makeup sex, and now then you look up and now you be with this person for another 6 months when you told yourself you was gonna leave a long time ago. So that's what I'm saying when I say I get so frustrated when people say, man, you should just leave, when it's just literally not that easy. And let's not even talk about how when you say, I mean, you know what, I'll meet new people, I'll connect with somebody new, I'll find another love of my life. But man, sometimes half of the battle is just asking yourself, do I want to go through all that again? Like, I done got to a point in my life where I know this person so well. I know everything about them. I know what ticks them off. I know their flaws. I understand these things about them. I've learned to accept these things about them. And now you tell me that I have to take a time to pull my wall down again and let somebody else in? Why would I want to do that when I can just stay with what's comfortable? And so again, we ask ourselves that question, and we look up, and we've been with this person for another year when we told ourselves we was going to leave a long time ago. So that's why I think it's hard. And because love is such a complex thing. We can try to make it seem like it's simple. We can try to make it seem like it's so cut and dry. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be certain situations where you're going to say, I'm fed up and I'm done with this and I'm going to leave this behind. And that's true. There are going to be those situations where you just can't do it anymore. But then also going to be a lot of situations where you're going to ask yourself, man, you know what? It really ain't that bad. You know what? I can forgive them for that. And the crazy thing is, you'll end up finding yourself forgiving people for stuff and overlooking stuff and giving people a pass on stuff that you promised was always going to be one of your boundaries. Man, because love really will make you do some crazy things. And so I guess the real moral of that story is, man, if you find yourself in a situation with somebody that you know you really love, that you know you really care for, but you just can't quite find the courage to leave, and I say you keep fighting for it, but when it gets to the point where you feel like you have nothing left to fight with, then that's how you know it's time to go. When it gets to the point where you literally having to drag yourself in that relationship and drag yourself through the day with that person, and you so drained just by being connected to that person that you have nothing left to give, then it's time to go. Because you know what's going to happen? If they end up leaving you, and it's going to come a time in your life where you need yourself for something, you're not going to be able to show up. You want to know why? Because you exerted so much energy trying to stay in this place with this person that you should have left a long time ago. And now when you literally need yourself and you need to give to yourself in order to achieve what you're trying to achieve or do what you're trying to do, or just be able to regulate your emotions and get over to whatever you're dealing with, you have nothing left to give yourself. And then you're wondering why you're so drained, and you're wondering why you're so tired, and you're wondering why you're so miserable. It's because you're empty. And so it's two sides to that story, man. Love really ain't that simple. It ain't as easy as some people try to make it seem. Because to be honest with you, if you can just up and leave and you don't think twice about it, then you really didn't love that person. Or even if you really did love that person, you've been hurt so much and you've been through so much where even though you do love that person, you're not going to allow yourself to feel that much pain again because you remember how bad it felt the last time you did. You feel me? Even though you may really care for that person, you may have been through so much shit in your life where you get to the point where you're like, you know what? It's going to hurt me to leave, but I'm going to leave because I don't want to feel that type of pain again. And the other side of the coin is that, man, when it finally gets to the point where it's doing more taking from you than it's giving to you in that relationship, whatever type of relationship that may be, when it gets to the point where it's no longer ever nurturing you, it's never pouring into you, it's never making you a better person, it's never making you feel like a happy person, it's never helping you achieve your dreams and your goals, like ever. Like, understand that the relationship won't do that every day. Like, I know people say that cute shit that is going to nurture you and it's supposed to grow you, it's supposed to help you be a better person. Now, it's not going to do that every day because sometimes that person is struggling with shit too. But if it's never doing that for you, then it's time to go. And as hard as that may be, you're so busy trying to make them happy, you don't realize how miserable it's making you. So that's why it's so hard. Because this life shit is hard. And, I really can't think of a better way to end it than that because, again, man, these questions today just reminded me of my own life. And now I find myself fighting for somebody that I pushed away. Because you really do go out here thinking that you can find better and that there's better out there. And to be honest, it may be a person that look better. It may be a person that got a fatter ass. It may be a person that got a bigger penis. It may be a person that got more money. It may be a person that's more handsome or more beautiful. It may be that. But there are going to be some intangibles about that person that you really love that nobody can compete with. It's going to be a certain type of chemistry that you got with that person that you love deeply that nobody can understand. There's gonna and what's so crazy is that even when you think you over them, you're gonna be looking for those intangibles in every single person that you connect with after that. And when they can never fill that void, then you're gonna realize how deep you really was. How deep in that shit you really was with that person. And then you gotta ask yourself, did we really go through so much shit to where I can't figure this out with you? Is it that bad? And if it is, then by all means, let it go. Or was it to the point where I do need to move on and I got to accept the fact that I got to start all over and I got to be vulnerable all over again. I got to show people my scars all over again. I got to talk about this boring ass shit of what's my favorite color and where I like to go and can we travel? Like, I got to do all of those stereotypical things again just so I can find love. And that's the reality of it. This shit hard, man. Y'all finna make me start venting on here, but let me leave it alone. I think that concludes another episode of SpeakUPZee, the podcast, man. And the podcast where we talk about real things with real people. And sometimes I'm talking about it by my damn self. But I hope this speaks to somebody. I hope this helps somebody. I know my big bro back here. He fucking with it. So I did something right. And I love y'all, man. Until next time, another episode of SpeakUPZee, the podcast. Peace. Hey, what's up? This is Will Z Tidwell with SpeakUPZee. And I just want to take a quick second just to thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of SpeakUPZee, the podcast. And my only goal with this platform is to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you around all things life, business, and mental health, whether it's myself or me bringing on a special guest. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. We don't ask for any type of monetary gains or anything like that. The best thing you could do for us is just like and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, we'll see y'all later. Peace.